Hey, what's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are answering the question, and it's kind of a weird question, but question nonetheless. Are your kettlebell workouts like the Groundhog Day movie? Well, here's the background. It was recently Groundhog Day here in the US. It's a strange holiday for sure. We look to a rodent named Punxsutawney Phil, right? He's a groundhog to tell us if we have more winter or an early spring. So apparently, if Phil, and Phil, is that even your real name? I don't know. If Phil sees his shadow, then apparently there's 6 more weeks of hard winter ahead of us. And if he doesn't, well, glory, it's early spring for everybody. So it's interesting for sure, like I said. But one of the funniest movies I ever saw was a movie called Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. If you don't know Bill Murray, like he's an incredibly famous comedian from the 70s and 80s. Might be showing my age here, right? Famous for his movies Stripes and Ghostbusters. And in Groundhog Day, Bill Murray plays a weatherman named Phil Connors. He's cynical, narcissistic, and he's sent to report on Punxsutawney Phil's prediction for Groundhog Day, which is February 2nd. And Phil gets stuck in some kind of cosmic glitch, a time loop of sorts, where he ends up having to repeat Groundhog Day, February 2nd, until he quote unquote gets things right, like some kind of karmic debt or something like that. Anyway, if you're a Bill Murray fan like I am, right, laughter ensues. Phil repeatedly screws things up and is repeatedly rejected ad nauseum by his love interest, Rita. And, it's just a hilarious movie. So what's really interesting is after repeating February 2nd over and over and over again and learning new skills like learning how to sculpt ice, right, play the piano, he finally breaks free of the time loop and wakes up on February 3rd. Now, if your kettlebell training feels like it's stuck on repeat and you're not getting anywhere, not making the progress that you want or think you should, in other words, you're not getting measurably stronger, you're not getting noticeably leaner, you're not feeling more energized, and you're still struggling with the same old aches and pains, well, you, like Phil, need to learn and change some things in order to escape your own time loop. So probably the simplest concept, if you're over 40 to grab a hold of, is this concept of recomposition. And, I said over 40 because that's kind of the guys I talk to, but I got a lot of other guys who are on my email list who are 30, 35 in that range, right? Just below 40 in their 30s. And a lot of guys who are in their 60s and 70s, believe it or not. And this applies to all of us, okay, regardless of where we are. And it's, again, recomposition. And that's where you simultaneously or within the same training cycle, get stronger, get leaner, and get more muscular, right? Without changing much about your current lifestyle, except the way or ways you train and work out. So the problem is you have to change what you're doing and the beliefs you currently have about training or working out, which, look, let's face it, many people just don't want to do, right? And if that's you, well, feel free to check out this video right now. But if you're open to some new ideas, right, then keep watching, okay? So what this really means as far as changing your ideas and your beliefs about working out is there's no more, and I'll put these up on the screen, there's no more long, grueling, testing your manhood every day, proving to yourself how tough you are type workouts, okay? There's no going to failure on every single rep, right? There's no working out 5, 6, 7 days a week at 60 plus minutes a day, all right? There's no more 2, 3, 4, 5 different exercises per body part, okay? And there's absolutely no more pushing through painful, sore, stiff, joint ranges of motion. Okay. So if you got, what I mean by that is if you've got active pain through a movement, stop doing that movement, man. Go fix that pain. Okay. It just makes sense. You're not going to miss out on anything. You're not growing muscle and you're not getting any stronger by pushing through it. I can assure you. But that's another video, right, at another time. So those are the old ways. Those are the ways that work for young bucks with zero responsibilities in life and who may or may not be on the juice. Okay. Instead, you'll need to learn how to do the following. One, you'll need to use various forms of autoregulation, whether you use a timer or not. Two, you need to keep your workouts shorter to keep your anabolic hormones higher and your cortisol relatively low. Three, you need to embrace simplicity. Four, walk away from your workouts feeling fresh, or at least not smashed into the ground like a cigarette butt on a sidewalk. Okay. Five, you need to value mobility and restoration work as something that actually adds value to your life instead of something you have to do, right? It's part of the healthy workout meal, if you will, right? It's not day-old vegetables on the side of the plate that you have to eat or otherwise mom won't give you dessert, right? That's not what mobility and restoration work is. It's fresh, healthy vegetables, right, that are freshly steamed. They're organic. Maybe you cooked them on your own farm, all right, and they don't taste like the green giant nasty stuff that's been flash frozen or just frozen and thawed and refrozen and thawed and refrozen again that you find in the bottom of the grocery store freezer section. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's not that. Okay, so fortunately, none of those skills, if you will, or mindsets, or it's probably a better word for them, are particularly hard to learn. I know because I've had to learn them firsthand. And fortunately, you, unlike me, don't have to learn the hard way if you don't want to, over years of trial and error, mostly error, actually, injury and frustration along with it, right? So if you're midway through February, which is the time I'm filming this video, and you've found yourself, like Phil Connors, stuck once again in Groundhog Day type workouts, right, where it's just more of the same and you're still frustrated, right, and things aren't changing, well, good news is there's a way out. So I've created a special report for you that you might want to check out. It's called the Top 5 Fat Burning Muscle Building Kettlebell Exercises for Busy Men over 30, 40, 50, 60, and beyond, right? It's free. You can check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and hopefully you learned what you need to do differently if you've been like Phil Connors and stuck in February 2nd for God knows how long. All right. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, click the like button, click the subscribe button. If you haven't already, click the share button, and leave me a comment. Let me know if you can empathize with old Phil there. And if you found yourself stuck in the proverbial Groundhog Day with your kettlebell workouts, right? And what you did to exit Groundhog Day. Okay. I will see you next time, my friend. Until then, stay strong.